strategic importance as well. It's the first in the Northeast. Let's discuss this further with Major General G.G. Dwivedi, defense expert, who is joining us on the broadcast. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your time. A very good morning to you. General Dwivedi, if I can get your observations regarding this boost that the Northeast is getting through this emergency landing facility. Dual use, we are obviously seeing a strategic use and a humanitarian use as well.
Absolutely, because the latest initiatives on the improvement of infrastructure in the Northeast, facility is dual use, means it can be used by the civilians as well also by the armed forces. And this is actually the future, or I would say that every facility should be used by multiple organizations. So in this case also, this bridge is very overall when you look at it, somehow over the years the right impetus was not given to the infrastructure development, and now since the last couple of years this has been the top priority. And this bridge per se actually connects both north and the south, part of Guwahati. And I have served in these areas for a long time. And Brahmaputra is a major obstacle because from north to south, it is very important to connect up, because otherwise the two distance from north and south of Brahmaputra actually becomes a major obstacle. So this bridge is important because it connects the both part of the cities and also cuts down on the travel time. Something it takes about 45 minutes to 1 hour now. In a minute. And also this depends, development of this very important. Guwahati is a very important city. In fact, it's the hub of the Northeast. I think this bridge will be very important both for the Assam and also for Northeast region at large. One.
Absolutely, General. And if you're looking at, both the dual uses, sir, we can see that even in times of disaster relief, this is a area which is prone to, blockades, or which is prone to being cut off from the mainland. So even during disasters, we are seeing a great deal of relief for the region, because we can send in our disaster relief over there. We can conduct rescue operations as well quickly, because this facility can handle transport aircraft and fighter aircraft as well. Apart from that, like I've mentioned, that this region is prone to be blocked, it's prone to blockades. Strategically, it's a very important signal that India is also sending, that if you destroy our major airfields, we do still have these hidden airstrips where we can land our fighter aircrafts as well.
That's right, because the environment, the infrastructure has multiple dimensions for use. Because today when you are making these, highways, bridges, these have the capability to take on the, in emergency, even the fighter aircraft. That's very right. And the second important point is that you rightly mentioned that disaster relief, because Northeast is prone to a lot of floods, especially during the monsoon season, and also at times there are earthquakes and such natural disasters. And therefore, if you have a good connectivity, you save that very, very precious time, because in disaster, time is very critical, and time can be cut down only if you have very good infrastructure, you have good connectivity. Only then the relief material, relief forces, and the personnel can react. To that extent, it also will elevate the disaster relief mechanism, and also possibly in case of emergency, aircraft can also land on such strips. Shivan.
Right. And General, when we're looking at Dibrugarh as a strategic point in the Northeast as well, this location as well, it highlights how important this place is, because we are looking at a stretch of highway that is on the Moran bypass, very close to our line of actual control with the Chinese over there.
Dibrugarh again has a very important implication major hub as far as the northeast, strategic importance is concerned. And this highway also connects, the Guwahati, as I said, is a hub, and it connects into multiple directions. And it goes, it has and the Chinese have made a lot of infrastructure improvement on the side of the LAP. Having served some time in these areas, the major impediment was to take time to react to potential. It's all against time. And therefore, this connectivity actually only for the civilians, but largely for the military point of view, because you are able to deploy your military potential, and more so when the LAC has become very active over the last couple of years. So all this actually adds to the national strength, because please remember, Shivani, today it's not only the armed forces who are fighting, it's a complete nation approach. So therefore, logistics are very important. How you actually support your frontline troops, to all that, if you put together, I think this is a major boost to our infrastructure and also to our military capability as well.
Absolutely, General. And if I can also ask you this, because this forms an important part of a national highway, this emergency landing facility that has been built. Sir, we want to understand how quickly is the turnaround time in such cases, because this is civil infrastructure that can be used for military and relief operations. So to block the highway, what kind of turnaround are we looking at in terms of time frames, sir?
You see, the major, in the operations or also in the normal it's very important how quickly you can turn around. Turnaround means that quickly aircraft places. So the turn is very important. And you can only optimize your potential, whether it is the aircraft, whether it is the ground logistics, how quickly they are able to turn around. Turn around means the time taken from the bases to the operation area and back. So that cuts down due to the improved infrastructure, and these also give you the added capability, because remember, most of the air bases, most of the logistics hub will be the enemy's targets, So therefore, you are able to create alternate means to support your infrastructure, to support your logistics, and also to support the forward. So therefore, turnaround is very critical during the operations or even during the build-up stage, because it's all, battle against time. And in time, in the war, in the operations, or in disaster relief, every minute counts, Shivani. Therefore, cutting down on the turnaround is the logistic excellence to support the operation in the forward areas.
Absolutely, sir. In fact, if I can request you to please stay on with us, my colleague Nibir Dekha also joins us on the broadcast for more on this. Nibir, we are looking at this historic, landing where the Prime Minister will land at the emergency landing facility over here on the Moran bypass. It's a historic day for the Northeast. Nibir, if you can hear us?
Well, absolutely. Today is indeed a very historic day for the Northeast. Well, absolutely. Today is a very historic day because you see that the Prime Minister is landing at the emergency landing facility in Moran. And this emergency landing facility is in the Dibrugarh district of Assam, which is very close to the international border as well. And what that tells you is that the kind of defense that we have built over the years, this strip can be used for that as well. Secondly, in those areas, the airport connectivity was not there earlier. But now with the construction of this emergency landing strip, the connectivity issue has also been resolved. So that is a very dynamic approach to connectivity in the Northeast, and which will be further developed in the coming years. And secondly, you have to see that the other states in nearby Assam, including Arunachal Pradesh, all these areas will also be benefited. And this is not an isolated event. Earlier, we have seen infrastructure upgradation in those areas with the likes of the construction of the Bogeybill Bridge. Now, Bogeybill Bridge has the capacity to also carry, if required, arms, heavy tanks carrying arms and ammunition. So it is a very big push for defense infrastructure, number one. Number two, it is also a big push for the connectivity in the Northeast, and all of this culminates into what we are witnessing over the last decades in as far as development in the Northeast is concerned. Now, Prime Minister today is not just going to the ELF facility where an air show will also be conducted. He will also be coming to Guwahati, and in Guwahati, there is going to be the inauguration of a flyover of a bridge.
Right. Nibir, in fact, I'll come to you on that input, but let me go across to General Dwivedi, who's also with us on the broadcast. So, when we are looking at this development, obviously another important part of this is the fact that our Indian Air Force pilots can manage landing on such a narrow strip of road. This is not a sophisticated airfield with ATC towers. This is a narrow stretch of highway, and they are able to navigate that through the terrain and then land and take off. Goes on to prove how skilled our Indian Air Force pilots are, sir. All right, I believe we've lost the connection over there with Major General G.G. Dwivedi, but let us in fact introduce another panelist on the broadcast, who is Wing Commander S. Sudhakaran, former Air Force officer. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast. We appreciate your time. Sir, when we are looking at this new emergency landing facility in the Northeast, it's a historic moment for the region, and because of its dual use, sir.
See, today's inauguration of Kumar Bhaskar Verma Setu over the Brahmaputra is not just another bridge. We need to understand this. Today, when we build a bridge, we only not build a bridge. It is a strategic infrastructure statement. The 3,030 crore 6-lane extra-dosed bridge connecting Guwahati to North Guwahati cuts travel time to just 7 minutes. But beyond convenience, this project strengthens Assam's economic spine and enhances regional mobility at a critical geopolitical location in the Northeast. Mind you, Bangladesh and China are eyeing for your chicken neck. And that is where it is very, very important to understand this strategic layer. The Northeast sits close to India's international borders and key corridors under the Act East policy. Faster connectivity across the Brahmaputra improves logistical flow, reduces bottlenecks, enhances disaster response capability, and significantly strengthens military and paramilitary mobility in a high sensitivity zone. That is dual use dimension. Civilian economic growth backed by strategic readiness. Technologically, this is the first extra dose bridge in the Northeast, engineered for high seismic risk using friction pendulum bearing for base isolation. High-performance stay cables and a real-time bridge health monitoring system will ensure durability, safety, and long service life. Economically, the multiplier effect is substantial. Faster cargo movement, reduced fuel consumption, urban expansion towards North Guwahati, industrial growth, real estate appreciation, and improved tourism connectivity. So this is not merely an infrastructure. It is resilient, smart, strategic infrastructure. It represents development with foresight, combining engineering excellence, economic acceleration, and national security preparedness in one integrated asset. This is what New India is. I like it this way. And this is what my perennial complaint has been. Thankfully for this particular project, I should give my sincere thanks and appreciation to the government of India and whoever has planned this. Kudos to them. This is what we need to do at scale. We should stop, this rhetoric and spectacle-based, creation, but then this is substantial. These projects are what will define India's future. This is what will secure India's future. And therefore, it deserves all the praise, all the kudos. And this is what real double engine Sarkar means for me today. That, it is acting on multiple fronts at the same time.
Absolutely, sir. In fact, apart from the Guwahati bridge, we are also looking at this emergency landing facility where the PM will actually land near Dibrugarh on the Moran bypass. That is also a very strategic, critical asset that will be dedicated to the country today.
Absolutely. See, the Dibrugarh Airport Emergency Landing Facility, again, refers to the runway supporting infrastructure being strengthened and maintained to allow military aircraft to use airfield during emergencies and contingencies or strategic operations. For the benefit of viewers, for your viewers, I would like to bring their attention back to Operation Sindhu. Remember, India bombarded the runways of Pakistan, rendering their F-16s from not being able to take off. This is something that will actually make half the country's runway, if we actually pilot this kind of project, those kind of attacks on our airfields will actually cost no meaning because aircrafts will be able to operate pretty much from anywhere it wants. And that is the kind of resiliency and agility that it brings to the air power. A runway capable of handling fighter jets, transport aircraft and special mission aircraft, strengthened pavement classification for heavier loads, quicker turnaround capability for refueling and logistics, night landing and instrument approach systems, and air traffic coordination between civilian and military authorities. So, this dual airfold, meaning it supports both civilian aviation, in a place which is sparsely populated, doesn't have much commercial value today. Earlier India used to think, why do we build even an airport? There was not even a railway connectivity properly there. But today when I am going to get airfields to these tier 2 cities, the congestion that happens into the urban area will reduce. And these tier 2 cities are the real, life where India thrives, and we need to build it. And again, kudos for the government to have planned this. This is what will unleash the beast in the Indian economy. Dibrugarh is located in Upper Assam, close to Arunachal Pradesh border, India-China border region, key oil and gas infrastructure, and critical northeast logistic corridors. This high sensitivity theater has an asset like this. It acts as a diversion airfield if primary military bases are unavailable for the reasons that I told you before. Provides forward staging capability for rapid deployment. Supports disaster relief, HADR operations during floods, earthquakes, and landslides. And enhances redundancy in air infrastructure, critical in conflict scenarios. So this strategic planning redundancy equals resilience in the battlefield. That is very, very important for us.
Right, sir. I would request you to please do stay on with us. Also joining us on the broadcast is Group Captain Sanjeev Bedi, former IAF officer. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast to discuss this. We appreciate your time. A very good morning to you. Sir, when we are looking at this emergency landing facility, obviously it has a dual purpose, strategic importance, and also importance during humanitarian disaster relief operations as well, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely, and this is the one which is happening in the northeast now. But as you and our viewers will also be aware, that such kind of a facility is already existing on the Yamuna Expressway as well as the Taj Expressway, which is joining Agra and Lucknow. And very frequent exercises have been carried out. And these are a great assets for the country. Like when I joined, I could hear the previous speaker talking about the operational continuity and rapid response, etc. Absolutely spot on. Because in conflict scenarios, when you have the airfields getting damaged and not being available like we did for Pakistan, then these work as for operational continuity. And that is an operational scenario. However, they are dual-use things. In the normal timings, in the peacetime, they work as high-speed, highways and traffic channels. And also in the disaster management scenario, when something goes wrong in regions, remote regions, these can be used to provide quick humanitarian support and disaster relief facilities and help.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast with that valuable perspective. With that, we are in fact slipping into a short commercial.